Hey everyone, how you all doing? For those that don't know, my name is Jason Grenham and I'm an automotive industry expert. I've gained experience over the past 15 years in various different roles within the after sales side of the business. So today I'd like to add some value back to you guys and discuss a main topic which I keep getting conversations on, which is capacity. Okay, so my understanding around the industry is capacity is becoming a massive problem for a lot of you dealers. And what I'd like to do today is just talk about the subject, maybe give you guys a few tips and solutions. And if you take something from today's video, it's more than valuable for me. Okay? So, capacity problems. Let's talk about capacity problems. Now, things that you might be experiencing with capacity problems could be, so we could be looking at a long lead time. So, for customers that want to book in, how long do they have to wait, before they can book in? Okay? Ask your questions to that. See how many people, see what you can find, see what it is, and how long do they have to wait for a loan car? Again, something else which predicts a long lead time. Okay. Another thing that you could look for is your customer satisfaction results. Okay. So look through your verbatims, look through your scoring. Okay. If you have a question in your surveys that you've got, how long were you satisfied with your booking period? Things like that will give you a key identifier on whether the customer's happy with how long they had to wait for their service booking. Okay. Another thing, something more internal, but is high levels of staff stress. Okay. If you're really, really busy and you're trying to cram all the work in because you're overbooked or whatever, things like this, staff levels, stress levels, will be a key indicator again of how busy you are and whether that's affecting the customer experience that you're giving them. Okay. High overtime costs, again, it's another thing. If you've got lots of work booked in, your workshops are full, which is fantastic, but you're having to pay them overtime, okay, it's maybe not a problem. But my request to you guys is analyse it. Yeah, let's have a look and see maybe is there an issue there? Are you paying overtime when you actually maybe don't need to? Okay, that's a question I also want you to ask yourself. Is it something that's required? Okay, and maybe something else again you guys are looking into with capacity problems to alleviate the problem might be looking at implementing a shift pattern, right? So the question that I ask to you guys is do you have the data? Do you have the information around you to analyze these points and really understand your capacity? Okay. So, for example, I wouldn't want you to commit to a shift pattern, which is a hell of a lot of work, a hell of a lot of undertaking, and you might even have to increase staff levels. Well, actually, you don't need to. It's maybe just 2 or 3 tweaks here and there within the process of the after sales that could effectively help alleviate your capacity problem and also increase your throughputs into your workshop. Okay? So, let's discuss a few capacity solutions. Okay? So these aren't necessarily things that will have an immediate impact, but these are things that if you review your processes and you have a look at them and you're self-reviewing, you can fully understand the problem that you're looking at with capacity. Okay? If you're not undertaking some of these processes, I recommend that you do. And if you are, have a look at them, self-review them. Are you doing them to the best of your ability? Okay? So let's get into it. Right, the first one that I want to talk about is customer contact plan. Okay, so a recent statistic for 2017 was that 61% of customers will happily book in with a dealership, that calls them and makes proactive phone calls to them about their service reminders. Okay, so that's a question. Are you carrying out service reminders? If you are, fantastic. Have you reviewed the quality of them? Okay, if you've got a contact center doing it, have you listened to one of the calls recently? Okay, these are all things that I would necessarily have a look at and self-review. I'm going to say that a lot over the videos and moving forward how we look at this concept, but self-review is a key part of your business. And if you're being a busy fool, just running around doing lots of things and, before you know it, it's the end of the day, okay, take a step back. Look from above the business, okay? And let's have a look and see if you can help improve things which don't cost much and are just process orientated, okay? So coming back to it, customer contact plan, all right? Do you have a contact plan? Okay, no surprises. Again, if you've got a contact plan in place, it means that there are no surprises. Okay, this is what we want to look. We love this in bookings and the automotive industry. No surprises. Okay, if we get a surprise, it really catches us off guard. So, if you're contacting customers, you're trying to get them in, you're preempting when they come in, you can start to understand your diary better because you know you're getting to the customers before they get to you. Okay, that's the key point on this. Okay, so Within the customer contact plan, once they've booked in, another area which will help you with your capacity is the customer prequel. Okay, so within that, you would be calling the customer, let's just say 24 to 48 hours. And again, if you're not doing this, it's something that's just real strategic. It also helps with customer satisfaction. I would advise you to do, okay? So what we're saying is if you call the customer, okay, 24 or 48 hours before their booking date and time, okay, you can understand their booking better, okay? Let's just say their booking's taken by the contact center, for example, okay? And it's then you're now the service advisor calling the customer. Okay, you can fully understand what they're coming in for. It may be that the hours allocated for that job are incorrect, so you can readjust them. Guess what that's doing? That's alleviating hours within your diary. Okay, therefore you can book more customers in. It may be that you've underbooked them, so you can then adjust it. Okay, what you can also do in this period as well is really qualify the customer to understand what they're coming in for. Okay, so it helps even alleviate that time when the customer comes in, because you've already spoken to them. You've already got all the information you need to help diagnose their car. So literally that interaction when the customer comes in to drop their car off is pure and simply about the relationship building. Okay, so again, let's just run through that. The customer prequel. It's carried out 24 or 48 hours before. That's at your discretion, I feel. Okay, and it helps you qualify the customer's needs for their booking. Okay, and this really helps plan your workshop, plan your day, plan your week. If you're doing it 2-3 days in advance, fantastic. Okay, and again, guys, these are just advisories to you. If you're already doing them, fantastic. But again, self-review. I come back to this, and I'm going to say it a lot. Self-review. You think your staff are doing it, or you think that process is in place. But actually, I'm going to ask you the question: is it? Okay, and how good is it as well? All right. Right. So the next point that I want to talk to you about is the pre-planning meeting. Okay, so this coincides with the customer contact, 24, 48 hours. All right, but this is a group meeting. Right, this is something some people call it a 10 at 10. Some people call it a point of interest meeting. Right, this is where you would get your team together, possibly your service advisors, workshop control, service manager, after sales manager could be involved. You could include quality control in it. You could include pre-testers. I don't know how your workshops are laid out, again, but the more people you can include in it without disrupting the day-to-day business, okay, the more information you guys can discuss. So within that meeting, okay, and it should only be literally 10 at 10, for example, so 10 minutes, right? You run through the current workshop capacity and what's going on within the workshop. Okay, so current with understanding. Is there any problems? It gives a service advisor some information, but we're always on the front foot. Okay, always on the front foot. Okay, then from that, you would then go into the bookings for tomorrow. Okay, or you could even go into the bookings for 2 days' time. Again, depends how far you guys want to plan, but it's all about planning. Again, I mentioned it, we're on the front foot. Okay, so you would discuss the bookings. Do we have the correct parts in stock? Do we have the parts that we can do to repair that car? Are there any parts required? Okay, just through talking and having a conversation. Do we need to allocate any time within a specialist technician because there's a job coming in? Road testing, we can allocate time to road test. But again, it's all about pre-planning, okay? If we understand where we're going, okay, and we have no surprises, again, we can be on the front foot. And to the customer, when they're receiving this form of information, this form of confidence from your staff, it's invaluable. Okay, it will really help improve your customer satisfaction if you're on the front foot, you're planning, you're moving things forward, and when the customer comes in for that visit, you guys within the after-sales facility know exactly where you're going with it, and everyone is in sync with what's required on their vehicle. Okay, it really comes through. All right. So from that, okay, the next point is turnaround time. Okay, now this is a bit of analysis, right? I would recommend, okay, that you're looking at your key to key. So when a customer comes in, he drops his keys off to you guys, and then he picks them up again. How long on average does that take? Okay, because what you could be looking at is for a service visit, for example, it could take 3 days. I don't know, this is just speculation, I'm just using figures, right? But unless you know that figure, how do you know that your process within your after-sales facility is as smooth as it could be? Okay, so my recommendation to you guys is to go and analyse your invoice data, okay, and have a look at when the vehicles are dropped off against when the customers are picking them up, and look at how long that process takes. And then I would select at random 5 to 10 jobs, and you could do this weekly, you could do it monthly. It depends on your results and what you guys are finding. But I would really look into those high hurt jobs. Say you've got a job that takes 10 days, say you've got a job that takes 2 weeks. I would actually look into the root cause to why that took so long, okay? And is there any learning that you can take from it? So it might be that the parts had to be ordered in. Question to that is, was it a part that you should have kept in stock? Okay, it might be that you're waiting for customer authorization. Possibility, you know, some customers are obviously very busy, but again, is there a customer contact plan in place? Okay, or is there another way that we could have contacted the customer? And or did we try and contact the customer within a suitable time? Again, these are all questions that you should be asking your team and understanding the reasons for why the period takes so long. And that's what I'm getting at with turnaround time. It may be that everything within the retailer and all the figures are correct, there's nothing more you could do. But if you're analysing it, you can look to improve it. Okay, so from that, okay, just repeat, turnaround time, key to key. Understand how long it takes for your customers to come in, drop their car off to you, and then come in and pick it up. Okay, if we've got that number and you've got the data behind it, you can really analyse and really look at your process, your after-sales process, from the service advisor through to workshop control or the team leaders, through to the technicians, through to parts, how the parts process are coming in, and then again to when the customer picks up and he's gone away with his vehicle. Okay, this is such a vital process, obviously, and it's so good when you have this data around you, you can really look to improve it. And coming back to capacity, imagine if you've got like a 3-week lead time, for example, and what you found is it's taking time to get parts in, or you've got parts that you should be keeping in stock. Yeah, if you could then get those parts in stock, you could get customers out quicker, and guess what? You can book more customers in. Yeah, so the capacity is starting to be alleviated. All right. Okay, the next subject that I think is something to talk about is repeat visits. Okay, understanding repeat visits. Every time a customer comes in for a repeat visit, it costs you 2 times it would on the first visit. Okay, so if you think about that for a little bit, what I'm saying is, every time the customer comes in, it costs you more in manpower because you've got to re-look at the car again, or you've got to get the car back in the workshop. But if you fixed it the first time, you wouldn't have to get it back in the workshop, therefore you wouldn't be taking up as much time. All right, and again, I'm sure you all understand the concept of a repeat visit, but are you analysing it? Are you looking at the reasons for why you have a repeat visit? Okay, and if you're not, do it. Okay, because there's no better time to start now to understand your capacity problem. Okay, and understand your repeat visits will help that. All right, so understanding repeat visits. How many do you have in a month? Okay, what are those repeat visits? What's the reason for those repeat visits? Okay, once you've understood that, you can then plan and put processes in place which will then hopefully rectify this. Okay, and it's all about self-review. Okay, again, I come back to it. The 4 or 5 things that I've just spoken about are all about self-review. Okay, controlling the factors within your influence. And once you're doing everything within your influence, then you can go on to look at whether you want to implement a night shift, or whether you want to implement, double shifts, so 2 shifts within a day, or even a 24-hour shift, or even open Saturday and Sunday. Okay, these are all things that come after. But what I would look to do, and I've given you 5 things there which you can look at, which would hopefully give you a key indication on where your business is going, but also whether there's anything you can do within your control to affect your capacity. Okay, so just to re-emphasize those points, we've got customer prequel, we've got customer pre-planning meeting, okay, we've got customer contact plan, so are we contacting customers, we've got turnaround time, we've got repeat visits. Okay, let's have a look at those, recommend them. If you need any help, by all means reach out to me, more than happy to help. Okay, again, self-review, understand, review, plan and execute the actions to resolve the issues. Okay, like I've said, if you need any help, reach out to me, more than happy to give value. And if you want any more info, type auto below. Okay, and I'll thank you for your time. Thank you very much, guys. Take care, and I'll see you on the next episode.